My passion for horology has come from wanting to see the ultimate refinement of a simple technology. Some look at watches like they just tell time, others see how much their time is worth. Being a dealer in the secondary market has given me a platform to talk about some of the day-to-day deals and what goes into making a name for yourself in one of the most competitive industries out there. My name is Dylan Robinson, and here you're going to see some of the craziest watches that money can buy in the mind of a watch dealer. Alright guys, that was an absolute disaster. Me and my wife are extremely frustrated. We're upset. My wife was a little sad. We waited a little over 10 hours in line and we didn't even get one. We'll dive into all that, but let me start from the very beginning of what these watches were supposed to be. It was a low price point to get young watch enthusiasts into watches, and it was great. It was a watch that looks exactly like the Speedmaster. It was Omega parts on a Swatch that had a Swatch engine in it. So these were really cool. These watches were made out of what's called bioceramic, which is like this plastic infused ceramic, which makes the watch really light. And they came out with, I believe, 11 different colorways, and we'll put that right there or something. They're really cool. We've seen two versions of these, and you guys are gonna laugh at the name. So there's the Mission to Uranus, which is that baby blue, the Tiffany blue colored one, and then there's the Mission to Venus, which is that hot pink, right?
Well, it was like a soft pink.
Yeah, it's our 7-year anniversary yesterday. Not the day of the drop, but the day before the drop. It was our 7-year anniversary, and we were looking to buy these watches for each other, and our idea behind them was crazy. Like it was so sentimental, and like me being a watch dealer, like we could get them, we could have flipped them, but we didn't want to do that. We had such a better idea for it. We had such such a pure, like, this is, man.
So our idea was to, he was gonna get the Mission to Uranus watch, the like baby blue one, and I was gonna get the Mission to Venus, the soft pink one. And what we were gonna do is, when I got pregnant, we were gonna do our gender reveal with these two watches, and whether it was a boy or a girl, that was gonna be their first watch. So if it was a girl, she was gonna get the Mission to Venus watch, and that was gonna be her very first watch. And then if it was a boy, we were gonna give him the Mission to Uranus watch, and that be his very first watch. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But I want to explain why this was such a big deal for me. When Dylan showed me this collab with the Swatch and Omega, I automatically saw the pink one, and I not only liked it because it was pink, but this was the first time that I was genuinely excited about getting a watch. Like, it just the whole watch was just amazing to look at. I was really excited. I was like, I am going to get this watch. I was like, I'm manifesting that I'm going to get this watch. Posted on social media of us waiting in line. I was like, there's no way I'm not going to get this watch. And
we get on our flight from San Francisco around 10 I'm sorry, not 10 o'clock. It was like
7 when we...
Yeah, 7 o'clock. We land in Dallas at 10:45, and we know that this watch comes out the following morning. So we go home. I stop by North Park, and I go inside. This is 11:30, and I'll put this video on my story. That's where I'm like, I'm coming for you, bitch. Like, there was nobody in there.
Nobody. Like, there was no line,
I'll be here in the
nothing.
morning.
And
I'll be here.
Dylan even went inside to
right there
and asked the security guard, like, hey, this watch is coming out at Swatch like tomorrow. Are you able to like camp outside the doors? And he was like, no, but what you can do is go across the street to Panera and wait there until the doors open. So we were like, okay. there's not going to be a line. So we were like, why don't we come back in the morning? And then coming back home from the mall thinking we have time, I'm just sitting there, Dylan's playing the video game. I'm like I can't stand it. We need to go up there and just wait. Like, I don't care if we're sitting in our car, if the security guard tells us that we need to we need to leave, and we just wrap around and come back.
I'm thinking that we're gonna be able to get there at 3 o'clock in the morning. This is at midnight at this point, or this is at midnight at this point. I'm thinking that we can get there at 3 o'clock in the morning and still be before anybody. It's the mall. The mall entrance doesn't open, so people are going to be lining up.
Mm-hmm.
Who really knows about the Omega Swatch collab? Like, who really knows about this?
Yeah.
Is it going to be watch heads? Is it hype beasts? Is it
resellers?
Is it resellers? Is it flippers? Like who? What's the demographic here that's going to show up at this line? So she's sitting on the bed, kicking her legs, looking at videos, and just getting really, really antsy. And I'm like, okay, guys. I tell my boys on the game, we're gonna have to try this again another time. I gotta get my wife to the store. She has to have this watch. And my friends are like, good luck. Let me know what you get. If they let you get another one, let me know and I'll send you the money for it. I'm like, of course, I got you guys, no problem. So
as we're pulling up, I see heads. We park. Like, I start sprinting to the line. We're probably like one of the 30th
we're in the top 30 for sure.
Yeah, top 30
sure.
Where like we met some really cool people while waiting there. So shout out to y'all.
Yeah, we one guy had said that this was his first watch, and that
was cool.
that hit close to home, because I was like, man, like, imagine being able to be a part of such a cool moment in history with Omega and Swatch.
You can tell. Like, having to wait in line and everything.
Absolutely. Like, it was cool listening to that. You got people in front of us that they're calling family members and their uncles and everybody to come stand in line with them, because it's now Swatch had released a statement saying that they were allotting 2 per person, and then had changed it to 1 per person. So now this family that only had 6 people in front of us, and when we got there,
and then this group slowly started, like, trucks started coming up, like, of their family, like, just adding one more. And we're like, dude, like,
yeah,
y'all are totally cutting. Like, it was frustrating, not only us, but everyone behind us, because that's like ruining their chances of getting a watch as well, because it's only limited to 1.
So my raw thoughts on their limiting 1 to 1 per person, and this could be ignorant numbers. You guys could tell me in the comments how much people usually get when it comes to drops and sneakers and stuff like that. My brain thought that the store was probably going to get 1,000 of them, and that there was probably going to be 100 of each color, and they were going to be able to handle the crowd of over 1,000 people that's showing up to the mall on a Saturday, sitting overnight. Like, I lost my train of thought.
Okay. Yeah, we thought there was gonna be.
I thought that there was gonna be 1,000 of them, 100 of each color, and we're in the top 30. So we're gonna get one.
Yeah, we're at least gonna get 1.
Yeah, for let's say all 15 people pick the Uranus one, all 15 people pick the Venus one. We're walking out of here with an Omega Swatch of some kind. Like we're getting something. It's exciting. People in line are starting to make deals with other people. The kid in front of us was standing in line for one of his cousins.
Not even for himself, for his cousin. This kid, like, dedication. This kid, like, was waiting. He had his blanket. He had a pillow. He had a jug of water. This kid was ready to get his cousin a watch just so he can get $100. And this guy literally offered him $500 to take his spot 50 spaces back. Somebody else ended up taking the deal like that while he was trying to make a phone call.
And we'll end up finding out that was probably the best deal to take of the entire night.
Let me say this. So not only were we waiting outside from 12 till 10 o'clock till they open, but it was freezing cold outside. Like, I had leggings and just a pullover sweatshirt. Like, we were grabbing blankets out of our car. Like, it was freezing cold. We haven't eaten anything because we just got off the plane. Like, we had to go to the bathroom, but we didn't want to miss our spot in line.
My wife had FOMO for sure. 1000%. She had FOMO. She was afraid of missing out on this
Yes,
badass.
I did not want to resell it, nothing like that. I was so excited because this was going to be my first, like, I have watches, but this was going to be my first buying experience from an actual store. I was excited to, like, get it in a box, like, even though it wasn't probably like an extravagant.
You were excited to do your little Instagram.
Yeah, like
it,
an unboxing of this watch that I genuinely was excited for. Like, I thought this watch was super cool. I mean, I know it's a collab with Swatch, but it was just still like awesome. I was excited to get it, and it's just unfortunate that, you know, it didn't happen. But
Just a quick little joke before we get in there. We had told the kid that was waiting in line for his cousin that what if he had waited in line that entire time and then walked out with one of the models that wasn't even the Omega Swatch. He was like, "This is the one that you wanted, right?"
Yeah, and it's like a Snoopy. So
here's where it gets bad. Where it starts.
Yeah.
Here's where it starts going downhill.
What you've all been waiting for, the tea of the whole night to morning, the tea. This is what freaking happened.
It gets daylight. Now everybody's who's been there all night is
We're getting excited. Everybody's standing up. No one's sitting down.
The people at the front of the line are getting a little more irritated at the people that are kind of just walking up to the door to look through. They're trying to make sure that nobody's getting cut because again, the speculation goes from my 1,000
to
160, all the way down to 100. And then people are like counting their spaces in line, and everybody's starting to get a little nervous and whatnot, right? So let's get into the logistics a little bit. North Park, the doors open naturally at 7 a.m. for the people that walk around the mall, get their morning steps in. You see the little old ladies that walk around the mall. The mall opens at 7, right? But the line started here. For the watches, the line started here, and you can clearly tell that this is the line for the watches because it wrapped around like the whole other side of the mall. The first issue that we have here is that they knew that this watch was getting released. There were multiple police and security guards that came throughout the night that seen the line wrap around the building. The second issue is that at around 7 a.m., 8 o'clock in the morning, it's still the whole mall is cut off. So it's like they were aware of some kind. So it gets to like close to 9 o'clock now, where the mall is obviously open. Or it would normally obviously be open for the morning walkers and those. Like a group of 50 people slipped through a door on the whole other side of the mall that this person that worked at another department store had no idea what was going on, and like let them in, and then there is a swarm of 50 people that go lining up outside the Swatch store inside the mall, while the guy who's been there at 9 o'clock p.m. the previous night had been waiting at the front door where we were at, where we're 30 in line, where we're 30th in line. This swarm of 50 people go and get to the Swatch, and now everybody who's in line is having a fit. Everybody is mad. Everybody is like, "Holy shit! What just happened?" Like, and I want to say that like everyone was getting mad, and then the police officer that has been there since we were there since 12 o'clock, midnight. He's seen my face. I went up to him 3 times to tell him to keep an eye on the group in front of us that had people coming and going. I have showed him videos of other releases around the world and told him that if you guys let people do what this group in front of us is doing, this whole release is going to turn into that. It's going to turn into that. And I'll put those videos here. I have clips everywhere. This release was an absolute fucking shit show. It was like
the people in line were like usually like at the other places where they released the watches, like New York, wherever they released them, like it was like a rampage of people. Like we actually had formed a line, like everybody was being civil. I have to give it to them. Like everyone was being like, they knew their spot.
It was civil all the way until the police showed up. So the police show up. Everybody in line is under the impression that the police are here to have the people inside go to the back of the line, because the line obviously starts here,
where we were,
where the whole building is wrapped around. Well, the people inside, I'm gonna have to look and try to find clips of this if there are any at all, but the people inside refused to leave. They absolutely refused to leave. More police officers showed up. Now there's 10 to 15 police officers here for this. The people inside are refusing to leave. And what Swatch decided to do, here's the biggest punch to the gut. There's over 1,000 people in line.
Like over 1,000 people.
You guys will see in my stories and clips that I share. This Dallas location was supposedly only allotted 45 watches.
45 freaking watches.
So we don't find that until the Swatch guy comes out and is saying that with the police officers behind him. So they decided to give the tickets to the people that refused to leave inside,
who clearly
were not there.
Yeah.
and
who literally got there like when the mall opened, when all of us other people were waiting there since midnight. Like,
this is where mass hysteria happens, where what I called and told that officer, I had pointed in videos. You might be able to see me in one.
We'll put the videos up here of what happened when we finally figured out that we're not getting a watch.
So my wife, who is like sleepy, standing up. I'm sleepy. It's tired. We're now standing in this crowd, finding out that they only had 45 watches. And that we were
already
30th.
Sold out too.
There were 45 watches. We were 30th in line, and they decided to sell them to the 45 people that cut and ran inside in another entrance instead. Like this, we're mad. Everybody gets pissed, and that's where we
there's yelling back and forth, like all of us people who were waiting there all night, like we're genuinely mad, like we're tired, like we were just excited to get this watch, like everybody else was. So that's what you're gonna see in the video, is like all these people yelling to the police officers, like this is your job to remove them, like they weren't supposed to be here.
You guys have every chance, every bit, and every ability to have these people removed, or nobody gets them at all. I had said that like throughout the night. I said the best thing that could happen is I would stand in this line all the way for them to for this shit show to happen, and nobody get anything at all.
Yes.
That's a W. That means that we can get one another day.
Yeah.
They can think about how they're gonna release
That would have been
these.
reasonable. That would have been the more professional way, is nobody gets the watches. Like nobody, even us waiting, like we didn't get the watch. But the fact of the matter is that they gave those people the tickets to get the watches.
Everybody felt cheated. The guy, think about the guy who had been there since 9 o'clock the previous night. He
was
been
there
waiting there
since 7.
Oh.
That guy said he was there since 7.
Like that's absolutely unacceptable. Like it almost ruined it for us. We were supposed to. This watch was supposed to be a story, a special anniversary gift to each other. It was supposed to be our child's first watch, our gender reveal. This watch had so much behind it, and it was going to be a story, a fantastic story to tell our kids.
Even though it's not an extravagant watch, there was a reason why I wanted this watch so badly, and it was because of the story that we were going to be able to tell.
This almost ruins it.
The experience is not as special.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, that's not even nearly as special. Hey, yeah, we ordered this one online because it was, this. Like, it had meaning. That's why we were there. Now the story is going to be, we stand in line and we got cheated out of it, and it wasn't nearly as special. So I would really like to know what Swatch is going to do to make it right for the mass. Because I'm a watch dealer. I'm going to have this watch regardless. I'm going to get it. like you guys will see. My wife will have this watch very soon. I don't care what it costs. Like it's. I want to know what they're gonna do to help the other people. That guy that it was his first watch. How are they gonna get that guy his first watch?
Eventually start saying, if y'all stay here, you're gonna be charged with trespassing. And then we look at each other and we're like, okay, like it's gone too far. There's nothing we can do. The watches are already sold out. So that's when we leave.
That's when we take our L. And
I shed a couple of tears because I was so mentally drained. Like
I felt defeated because I've never seen my wife this upset and hurting over something that we were so close to. Shout out to Captain Poppy. He tried to buy my slot in line. He said hey, if you let me cut in front of you, I'll buy yours and your wife's watch. I was thinking about it for a minute there, but they were very ill prepared for this. And I want to know what they're going to do to make it right. Like, there needs to be a statement from somebody. Even if they take your money and make you wait until yours finally shows up.
The experience started off good and then ended like it was like a dream. Like, it was like, really? Like, we're not getting this watch?
My blood's boiling. My blood's boiling thinking about this even more. We got this was our hot take on the Omega Swatch disaster. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Mind of a Watch Dealer.
Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And everybody go spam Swatch and tell them
it was a disaster. Now Swatch really looks like a Uranus.
Yeah, exactly.